That's assignment 1. We wanted assignment 2. All right, so we're going to continue on. Whoa, where'd you get the sandwich?
They're just giving it away in there.
Where'd you go?
Subway.
That's a sub sandwich?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like Subway.
Subway from Marietta.
It's not fresh. If it's from Marietta. I had to go have tacos. All right, let's jump in. We've got 8.1 be continued. So this is all done. I think we experienced it, correct? We got through with this one. I am going to do that little trick I showed you yesterday, which is right mouse click on 8.1b and copy this. So I'm going to say create a copy, and I'm going to put it before sheet 3. So now I have a second one of those. I just hit right mouse click on this little thing down here. And then I'm going to double tap it and call this one 8.3b. Good. Did you duplicate it? You just right mouse click down here, Elizabeth.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
Okay. And then you
We're doing a
copy.
general, we're doing a general journal, right?
We're doing a purchases journal and a general journal. Don't make me install mirrors up on the ceilings.
No. Okay, hold on.
Laura, get off of Facebook. I'm just kidding. Dean Marks keeps looking out, so whatever you're looking at, make sure it's good on your computers.
So which one is the first one? The purchases journal is the first?
Purchases journal is going to be first, and I'm going to be on this 8.3b, and I'm going to renumber this one now, problem 8.3 Bravo. And then I'm going to delete a bunch of this stuff in here. This problem is taking place in December, so I'm just going to delete all this. I'm going to delete my amounts. I can leave that little totaling area. I'm going to delete my accounts. So now it's blank. I like that. And this one, according to the problem, says to make this purchases journal page 8. So I'm going to do that.
Page 8.
And I'm looking down here. I might as well wipe out. Well, I'm going to leave this because we can use this as a reference. Remember, once we learned how to do it, we could keep it. So we'll kind of change that when we get to it. So the first thing, this is happening in December. I'm going to say December. And our transactions start on the 1st. So Lisa, will you read this one to us? This first one?
Purchased lawnmowers for $5,780
$5,780.
for a freight charge of
$156 in freight.
from Selby Corporation.
Selby.
Invoice 2110 and dated for November 26th. Net due and payable in 45 days.
And 45. Bingo. I have an answer. Speaking of the microphone, Laura. Just kidding.
Okay. What's the formula that you have?
My formula is simple. It just says I want to add. So this one says equals this cell plus this cell. That's all my formula is. Good question. All right, Elizabeth, you going to read us number 2? Sorry, YouTube, I just blew out their ears. Well, I got to put a Halls in. I'm going to start coughing. I can feel it already. It's all the smoke in the air. The fires.
Okay. Purchase outdoor chairs and tables for $5,000.
Wait, what day?
Oh, December 5.
December 5th. Okay, we purchased some outdoor chairs. For how much?
For $5,700.
$5,700. Any freight?
That's student aid.
Hmm?
So student waiting to see.
Yeah, out front.
That is freight charge of $100.
Okay. And who was it for?
For patio furniture shop, invoice 633, dated December 2, on the terms of 115 or N60.
I like it. All right, Laura, what's next?
Want me to read the next one?
Yeah, tell us what we're doing.
Okay. Purchased grass feed for
What date?
Date 9.
December 9th, okay, for 1,000.
1,148
Okay.
from Spring Lawn Center. The invoice number is 1127. Dated December 4th. The terms are 30 days net.
N/30. Excellent. We're going to skip the 16th because that's a credit memorandum, which goes where? General journal, not the purchases journal.
Isn't that accounts payable?
Well, yeah, we're going to deal with that, but we do that, it's a return. So we're going to do that within the general journal, remember? And we're going to go to the 19th. I'll read this one. On December 19th, we purchased a bunch of fertilizer from the Spring Lawn Center with invoice date 11/31, dated 12/15, with the terms of 30 days net, which is the N/30. And the amount of the fertilizer was $1,600, and we had a freight charge of $156. Lisa, you're up. Can you guys just really quick, I just want to point out, did you notice that I didn't have to do any arrow keys to get my cell there? So I'm using tab to move in, shift tab to come back. But when I hit enter, it takes me back to the original spot. As long as you're using tab and shift tab, as soon as you use the arrow key, it just drops straight down. So that's another little Excel trick just to keep you in the right spot.
So December 21st.
Perfect.
Purchased garden hoses for $760 and a freight charge of $76 from Delta Rubber Company. Invoice 8517 for December 17th, and the terms are N/60.
And the amount was $760 plus $76. Don't you just love how when you have those formulas, it just does it? That's what I'm saying. Like if you're doing accounting right and you know Excel, you don't have to do any math. Okay. All right. You've got a concerned look on your face, so you're either constipated or you're worried. Okay. I just want to make sure everything's all right. Elizabeth, the 31st.
31st. Purchase a lawn sprinkler system for $3,700.
How much? 3,000. Okay, plus freight of 80.
Plus freight of 80.
Okay.
From Casson Industries, invoice number 8819,
Okay.
dated December 26th. Terms are 210 and 30.
Bingo. Now I already had my auto sum. I didn't delete it last time. And like I told you before, a lot of times these problems are going to be set up exactly the same. Notice that we had 2 credit memorandums. We had the exact same number of transactions. It's so similar that I left the same thing in there and it worked. So I'm just going to drag this one over to add these up. Now let's do our credit memorandums. We all ready for that? Y'all ready for this? No. Okay, so we're going to go down to our journal now. We're going to do our returns. We had 2 credit memorandums. I saw one on the 16th and one on the 28th. On the 16th, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this right here. Notice this is from our last problem. So it's not all perfect because it's kind of a little sticky here.
What was this one with no goal?
Zoom back. Okay, we're going. So we have this, we're just gonna change it around, but remember, the nature of a return is the same. We're always gonna have accounts payable, we're gonna be refunding part of it. So without changing any of this, let's just kind of dissect it. What's the amount for the first credit memorandum? On 261. The amount.
400.
So we know we're going to put 400 here, and this is a little trick I haven't taught you guys yet, but one of the things to make sure that these always match up is come down to the credit amount and just hit equals 400. So you know that that's always going to be right. Now we owed somebody money that they're giving us a credit memorandum for. Who was it? Who's giving us 400 bucks back? Patio Furniture Shop. So I left accounts payable. I just changed the name of the company there. Do we need to change anything for purchases, returns, and allowances? Nope, that can remain. And we can even put received credit memo. And I can just highlight this one. What was the credit memo? 101 for damaged ski boots. No, for some damaged chairs that were returned, or did we keep them? Chairs and tables. And we didn't return them, so we're just going to hit delete here. They're just giving us a discount. The original sale was invoice number
633.
dated December, what was it?
December 2nd.
December 2nd. Watch out for the cable.
Oh,
I don't want you to trip on it.
I will not trip over.
I thought you weren't coming in today.
The skeleton. Grab my freaking hair.
Oh.
Did you see the picture? It's ridiculous.
All right, so we did that, and oh, we need to just change this to December, remember? So December, and it's the 16th. And I think it tells us we had a different journal page. Purchases journal, what journal page? 20. It says that in the middle of the page. It says record transactions on 3-column purchases under number 2 for instructions. And a general journal, use 8 as the page number for the purchase journal and 20 for the general journal. So then we have one more return to do, and that was on the 28th. So who is this one for? Delta Rubber Company. How much? 150 bucks. And once again, if we just hit equals 150, we're good to go. We received credit memo number 210 for defective hoses that were returned. So I'm going to say for defective hoses that were returned. The original sale invoice was number, according to the problem, 8517, and it was on December 17th. Bada bing. All right. We ready to move on?
That invoice number is wrong on 28.
What? Invoice 8517. It's in the problem.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're on 39.
It's all right. People try to tell me I'm wrong all the time. They're never right. Oh, no. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is put all this posting, this stuff, into the general ledger. We need to post these suckers. So let's post away. First off,
So we can make a general ledger.
well, we could, or we could come over here to this 8.1 be continued. We could right mouse click it and say move or copy. We could say create a copy and put it behind 8.3 Bravo. And when we click OK, it's right here. Oh, it didn't put it behind it. I can drag it there. Then I can just double tap it and say 8.3b continued. And it has a general ledger already pre-made. And in fact, I bet this general ledger is going to be almost exactly what we need. Methinks, at least. Hence, if you do these, and then you just come to your problems tomorrow for the test, you should be able to just go clickety-clack, especially if you're using the formulas like the one I just showed you here on the purchase or on the general journal. If you just change the first amount, it's going to change automatically. You're just putting in a couple things and it's all going to magically work. That's what makes me so nice. And a pop quiz tomorrow. Because an expense is always a... Thank you. Elizabeth, you've got that. I like that.
Sorry.
Did we all duplicate? You got this duplicated, Elizabeth?
You know what, just hold on, just keep that.
I'm holding. I can tell you didn't have it. That's why I'm holding. Laura's still smiling, but I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I just got it all mixed up, but I got it.
You got it all worked out?
Yeah. I had them.
But you're a 9 in Excel. You should have it totally worked out no matter what. Okay. Good. So we're going to get the standard derivative of the integer for the accounts payable superlative. I'm just kidding. Just want to confuse you. You guys ready? This is simple. This is easy. Only thing we need to do, first off, in every single one, we're going to change this to December. Do we have a balance? I'm betting they gave us a balance. Balance for accounts payable is $13,000.
We're gonna do December what?
$490. Yeah, because it's the beginning of the month. That's when the balance comes in. Let's see. Their account is 205. I think they have the same account numbers and everything. This is going to be easy. If you didn't have me helping you, you'd probably recreate this, though. I'd be like, what? Lisa's like, I'm better than that. I don't have to do that. You're forever going to be on YouTube for this when I say your name. Okay, Lisa?
I always wanted to be famous.
I don't know about famous. I just said on YouTube, okay?
Well, if we get the most likes for this one,
Then that'll be your name. Laura's like, wait, me.
So 13,490 is what you have left?
it's
Well-
right above the problem, right on the right page.
Yeah, right up on top, it gives you that credit balance right there.
Got it, thank you.
So our first thing we need to do is, if we look at this, it looks like this came from the, which one before? I'm trying to show you how you could solve this with doing it. Where did this come from before?
Journal,
Which journal?
the general.
General Journal because it's J. But we don't have General Journal 38 this time. We have General Journal 20. Okay? So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to say this is J20. I'm just going to change all my journals really quick there. J20. This was my refund before, so I'm going to say this one equals, if I jump back to 83B, here's what it's going to equal. That's my accounts payable. Just going to click enter. It's going to come up. Now, if I were to do this tomorrow and I typed in the right amount on this page, watch. See how it says 400 right now? If I type in the right amount here, let's just pretend this is 15 or 1650 tomorrow. It automatically changes here, and if you did it the way I did, you come in and it's already calculating right here. It's already put it where it needs to be. But it was 400, correct? There we go. So 400 is there. The next, oh, and that was on the 16th. The next one took place on the 28th. How much was this one?
150.
Equals 150. And then our total is going to equal what was in our purchases journal, which is 19,256. And our balance, when we get done, should be 32,196. And this is a different page, isn't it? What page is it? P8. Purchases journal 8. Done with that one. The purchases account.
Sometimes they don't put that number.
You what?
Parentheses.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Good catch, Lisa. Lisa wants us to go back and put this to show that we posted it down here. So we're going to go ahead and put parentheses 2, space 0, space 5, close parentheses. We posted that one. Well played, Lisa. An individual that will live in infamy. Now we're in the purchases. All we're going to do for this one is pick that bottom number. There's no balance coming across. We do need to make this P8, so I'm going to say P8. It is December 31st instead of May. And the debit is going to say equals, come over here to the purchases debit, 18,688, right here. And I'm going to go back and post it saying I did it. So parentheses 5 space 0 space 1 end parentheses. Great, we did that one. Now how about freight in? Same thing, December 31st. P8 equals the total down there of that. Enter. Balances all there. I'm going to go back over and do parentheses 5 space O space 2 close parentheses. Finally, our returns and allowances. These happened on what days? It was the 16th and the 28th. And they're both in our general journal, which was page 20.
Can you just a little bit for you? No, I didn't see the numbers. Okay, good.
Oh. Now I'm going to show you a little trick to how to get this to calculate out on its own also. Have we mentioned this 1,250 yet? We actually have, but we're going to refer it back over there. So we're going to say this equals, oops, we want to go down, our journal, this number right here. It's our credit side. Purchases, returns, allowances, enter. And we want to do the same thing here. Purchases, returns, allowances on the credit side.
Is the top one the second one?
Is the top one the second one?
Yeah, like the one on top, that one.
That one is this 400 one. Is that what you're answering? Or what's your question?
On the first one we did for that,
You mean this one?
yeah. Okay, the second one, like not like the second column, but like the second,
Row.
the account purchases.
Okay, what about this?
Okay, no, I did it right.
Okay, just making sure. And then this company was what? What's the name of this company? The Landscape Supply Center. And this is 12/31/13. Now, if I did this right, which I think I did, it should all tally out. In fact, I've done it all because I had the formulas all done. It's actually added everything up. So I don't know if you guys did the same thing I did. So now we're going to go on to 8.2 Bravo. So I'm going to use this 8.3B. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to create a copy, and I want to put it before sheet 8.3B. Double click it and call it 8.2 B. And this is not going to be a general ledger. This is going to be an accounts payable subsidiary ledger. So this is going to say name, and we're going to put the different people that we had done, and then over here, instead of account number, it's going to be terms. And we're going to take, we need a date, we need a description, we need a posting reference, and then we need a debit, a credit, and a balance. So all I'm going to do, instead of this, because it's going to be a guaranteed balance, it's all accounts payable, so we know it's all credit balance. I'm just going to make this credit, I'm just going to get rid of balance, actually. I'm just going to keep balance in here. I'm going to merge all these cells together. This is kind of a little tricky. You just come up to balance, you hold shift, you push down once. Notice it highlights the two below it, and you click merge and center once, merge and center twice, and it should say, yep, there it goes. It did what I wanted it to. We got rid of the bottom two, and now I just have one cell. And the same thing's going to apply here. I'm going to grab one of these and just say merge and center at once, and then I'm going to drag it down. So now I have a accounts payable subsidiary ledger built very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and delete these things in here. And since this looks right, I'm going to highlight all of it now. So if you get what I have here, I'm going to hold the shift key down, go all the way down to this point. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it from right here. Shift down, and I have this all highlighted. I'm going to hold Control C, which makes me copy it. I'm going to just scroll down a little bit. Is this one bigger than the rest of them? It looks like it's a little big. Let me go up a couple. How many rows do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, it's the same. And then I'm just going to click up here where it says account purchases and paste. Account freight in, paste. Account purchases, paste. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to put one more down here. Grab one more of these bad boys. shift cells down. That brings all these things down there, and I have my last one. So now I have 5 of them. Now this refers back to our 8.1 problem that we did earlier today. And the problem actually reads, set up accounts payable subsidiary ledger for an Eskimo ski shop. Good, we did that. Open an account for each of the creditors listed below and enter the balances as of May 1st, 2013. Arrange the accounts payable ledger in alphabetical order. So if I look at this, I have Mayday, Fashion Ski, Winter Sports, East Coast, Golden Ski. Which one's first, Laura? It's on 260. Alphabetically, which one's first? Alphabetically, which one of those companies is going to come first? East Coast. East Coast Snow Shop. And what are their terms? Net 45 days. And we're going to go down and put all of our transactions that we had for them. They have a beginning balance though, May 1st, a balance of 6188. Now I'm going to jump back here to 8.1 and see, oh look, right off the bat, May 1st, we had ordered from them, okay? So if I come over here, I'm going to say May 1st, I ordered. It was invoice number 6572, and it was for 4/28/13 because I had ordered it in April. And was it a debit or a credit? We owe them money or we don't owe them money? Lisa, what do you think?
Where did you get that amount?
I haven't given an amount yet.
I'm sorry.
Where did I get the information?
Yeah.
On 8.1b, East Coast Snow Shop invoice was 6572. The invoice date was April 28th. So do we owe them money or not owe them money? No, we owe them money. Good job. Good job. We owe them more money because we're buying product from them. This is a purchases journal exercise. So how much goes into the accounts payable? 5720. How did you guess? That was amazing. You knew it was 5720. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and I'm actually going to tie this in. I'm just going to say this equals, click over here, 5720. Bada bing, bada boom. My balance is what? Laura, what's my balance going to equal? Equals what? Give me the formula.
Balance for the minus subtract the credit.
Actually, we're going to subtract the debit and add the credit. So our balance is 11,908. There's one last thing that happened though, and that was on the 31st, I believe, or the 9th, excuse me. What happened on the 9th? We received a credit on May 9th. And this is for credit memo. Let's see here. It says it was credit memo number 155. So this one's going to be a debit, and it equals, I'm going to jump over here to my 8.1 Bravo, continued. I'm going to scroll down to my general ledger. Excuse me, it probably is this 8.1. Scroll down to my one right here. This is a debit to accounts payable. I'm going to go ahead and click on, it's that 1250. Then I'm going to drag this one down. Gives me a balance of $10,658. Now the complicated part of this is not there. It's already done. So we can do this for each shop, correct? Laura, you all right? Elizabeth, you okay? Good. So this next one, in alphabetic order, what's the next one going to be, Elizabeth? If East Coast Snow Shop was the first one. Fashion ski, not sky, even though that's what Domingo called it. Where? And we have 60-day terms, net and 60. We're still in May. Did they have a balance?
8,720.
8,720. I'm going to go ahead and use comma style on here. Get rid of my 2 zeros.
I have a question now.
I have an answer.
Okay, the ones that are on top, right? The ones that are on top, I understand the ones. Why are we doing a separate ledger for this new one?
We are doing subsidiary ledgers for each individual vendor that we owe money to. That's what this is. So accounts payable altogether is going to equal all these added up, but this is how we can tell. Just like if we were a credit card company and we're issuing credit to everybody, this is when we're buying from multiple people. We want to make sure we know how much we owe to each one of them individually. That's why. Good question. All right, so we only made one purchase from the fashion ski sky place, whatever it was, and that was on the 12th. So May 12th. It was invoice 986 on 5/11/13. It came from purchase journal 15, and then it was a credit because we're buying from the. I'm going to hit equals. I'm going to jump back over to 81B and come down here to this amount right here. That's how I know what it is. 5,000. Enter. It brought it across automatically. And then I'm going to tell this one, I could do it the Laura way and rewrite it, but we don't want to do that, do we, Laura? We want to come up here. Because I've already written this formula once, I can just come up and grab the formula, say copy on any of these, any of the bottom two if I did it right, and then hit paste. And it automatically tallies it up. So I copied it from up here, and I pasted it down here. And it worked like magic. Yes. What are you looking for? Huh? The name?
Yeah.
Fashion ski wear?
No, the one above it.
That one is East Coast Snow Shop. These have to be the most boring YouTube videos ever. To watch on YouTube, yeah. I have vertigo today. It's really weird.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Well, Mr. Ross is coming. I'm going to hit pause here. Mr. Ross?
Sorry, Mr. Greer.
So we've got fashion ski wear done now, correct? The next one in alphabetical order, Lisa. I was going to say you're missing my last name, obviously, in there. Golden skis and clothing. Great. What are the terms for golden skis and clothing? 2/10, comma net 30. This would be May 1st or May, and it looks like if I look back into here that we only made one purchase through them, and that one purchase was on the 27th of May. So May 27th, it was invoice number 8354 on 5/27/13. It's from P15. And it was a credit of, I'm going to say equals. I jump back to 81. And it equals, this credit was for, excuse me, I'm actually going to go to, yeah, 38.50. So my balance is just going to equal that. Comma style both of these. I'll go, I guess I have to go. I'll take one. The next one in alphabetical order is Mayday Ski Shop. Their terms are net 30. We started off with a balance for them, didn't we? May 1st, we had a beginning balance of 1,700. And we had quite a few transactions. So the first thing that we did was we had a May 8th invoice. It was invoice number 4916. On the 2nd, that came from our 15th page of the sales journal. And that first invoice was a credit of equaling, I'm going to jump back to that front page right here, 12,500. I clicked on it, hit enter, and now I need to write that formula up, but because I'm going to do Laura's method, I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to copy one, bring it down and say paste. Ta-da! And then our next transaction that happened with them was on the 16th. That was invoice number 5011. That was May 15th, 2013, same page. And then we're going to be dealing with our second transaction. So I'm going to say equals, and I'm going to go over to that transaction. 2650 right here. Drag this down a little bit. Just drag this down one. And finally, I think we had a credit memo on the 28th. So I'm going to do a credit memo 38, and that was on the journal. I think it's page 38 on the general journal. And that's going to be a debit, and we equal, go to 8 point, let me drop down here. Yep, here it is, 380. So we're going to go ahead, and this is against Mayday Ski Shop. We can see that right here. So we click on it, we hit enter, and then we're going to drag down this balance. And so we should end up with 16,470. Just mess with you. Lisa's like, what happened up there? And then Lisa said. And we've got one more to do. Laura, what's our last one? Winter sports clothing. What are the terms for them?
110
And N60. 1% in 10 days, net in 60. So we're gonna have a beginning balance for them, and that beginning balance comes across as $5,000. And I think we only had one transaction for them on the 22nd. That was invoice 4019, 516, 13. That was from Purchases Journal number 15. And it was a credit because we purchased something. I'm going to say equals, go back and look at it, and it was a credit of 3160. And do the lower thing where I copy one of these up here, paste it down here, and it totals it for me. Bibbity bobbity bacon. Getting excited about that. Here, I'll make sure you can see that, Lisa. And the last thing that we need to do for 8.2b is to create a schedule of accounts payables. Sorry, I didn't want to cough in that mic. Sorry. I have an answer.
Can you go back a little bit, please?
That 380 right there on the debit, where did that come from?
That came from the journal. When I click back over here and I scroll down, it was this number. You want me to move it down or up?
Down. Yeah, there you go.
Now, I know this looks kind of complicated, but the more you start understanding how Excel works, it makes it so much easier as you move forward if you're doing these equals and you're referencing other cells, because you can change it in one place and it changes everywhere that it needs to change. So that's the power of this. Anybody ever watch He-Man growing up? I have the power! Masters of the Universe? No? Laura's too young. She probably wasn't even born.
When she's not ready to do it.
Can I scroll up now for her? Or are you?
8160. Okay. What's our last grade now?
Sorry, what?
What will be our last grade?
Your last grade?
Grid.
Oh, grid. We're going to build a schedule of accounts payable, which is going to look a lot like this right here. It's going to be very simple.
Okay.
Well, we're just going to say this is for the Eskimo ski shop. This is a schedule of accounts payable. The date is May 31st, 2013. We're not going to do revenue. I'm going to delete all these. And all we do in a schedule is we're going to list out all the different companies. I'm going to flip to 8.1 or 8.2a. You guys are going to love me. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a little trick. Did you know that the equals doesn't only work with numbers? You want to hear what I just said? Did you know that equals doesn't only work with numbers? Scrably? What does he mean by this? I'll show you. Right here, tomorrow, if you use this template for your test, if you do exactly what I'm about to show you, it's all going to work out for itself. You hit equals on my first row. I'm just making a row. I'm going to scroll up here where it says East Coast Snow Shop. I click on it.
Wait, what do you click on? Okay.
East Coast Snow Shop.
Okay.
I hit enter. Guess what's down there?
Wait.
Scrabble. Then if I hit equals, scroll back up to fashion ski wear, click, enter, equals. Golden ski clothing, enter, equals. Mayday, enter, equals. Winter sports clothing, enter. So tomorrow, when you have 5 accounts also that you're going to be doing, if you just label them properly, guess what? All those names are going to go down right where they belong for your statement of accounts received or of accounts payable, your schedule of accounts payable.
That was cool.
Now it's going to get even better. Up. Can I keep going? Because we're not,
That one,
we're not,
the Mayday one.
you haven't done it yet?
No, I'm still working on it.
Okay. Can we finish this off really quick and I'll come back to this? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, on East Coast Snow Shop, if we hit equals, now tomorrow this will be one thing you need to look for, make sure that it's on the final balance. But if we just go up here and we click the last number that's in the row, equals the last number that's on the fashion ski wear on the balance section, equals, we can go back up to golden, so equals this one, equals Mayday, equals the last one, and then we tally this all up for a grand whopping total with an auto sum of $52,858. That's the right answer. And I didn't have to do any typing for that. Did you notice how I just hit equals? And so tomorrow, let's just say, I'm just going to show you, you come in and the beginning balance here is $65,000. This is already tabulating. It's all done. If I change the name of this to Yippee-ki-yay, whatever. Down here it says Yippee-ki-yay. It's all done for you because you've done it properly in Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, or stop this. So stop.